let's start with the Bills. They were 4-0. They seem to be cruising. They were everybody's Super Bowl pick. The last couple weeks have been a little bit bumpy. What do you make of what's going on right now in Buffalo?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a lot of things. One, you throw a couple of picks, one in the red zone last night. Those things always come back to haunt you. They're inexcusable, but most of the time, you look at those picks that are thrown, you get under duress. There's under pressure throws that you make, and those things affect the way you play the game as well. You're everybody's target because you're the Buffalo Bills. Josh Allen won a MVP last year, so you're heightened awareness of the teams you play. You're gonna get everyone's best shot. And there's always something with the Bills right now over the last 2 weeks that have been, kind of what has cost them a game. Obviously, they couldn't stop the running game. Bijan Robinson last night. So that was big. And then you feel like it gets you out of what you do. When I watch the Bills, they have become a very balanced team. They run the ball exceptionally well. They take a lot of pressure and create a lot of play action opportunities for their quarterback. And when you're behind or things aren't going the way you want them to go, you tend to get a little pressed on the offensive side of the ball. So there are a couple of things, but I would tell you this, Tom. I mean, offensive football has been, dare I say, in the AFC so up and down, at times atrocious. And I don't know if you watched that Jets Broncos game, but it set offensive football back into the leather helmet days. I mean, it was so bad. So there is a lot of that. It's endemic of the National Football League because of our failures to make guys practice in pads, to actually execute the game and work on the game, because we have taken a lot of the physicality out of the game under the guise of, hey, we've got to keep our players safe. So there's a lot of that is continuing to me to manifest in really poor play across the board.
I've heard that so many times, Mark. And of course, in your days playing, in my early days covering the league over 20 years ago, it was first day of training camp, 8:45 shells, 3 o'clock pads. However the coaches structured it, it was true 2-a-day type of environment. Now, of course, you've got the ramp-up period. There are teams that fundamentally don't believe in going live at all and have a lot of unpadded days through the course. When you talk about the failure to develop and the failure to have that time on 10. What does that mean? And what is the impact that we actually see, particularly in the early stages of the season here?
Hey, how many quarterbacks are hurt right now?
Too many.
I mean, I had Roger. I was calling a game a year ago, and standing on the sideline, pregame, talking to Roger Goodell, and he's like, "Hey, what are we going to do about all these quarterback injuries?" Well, I got an idea. Make the guys up front practice. Like I say this all the time, and I'll say it to you, Tom. The most skilled position in football is the offensive line. It's the only position in any sport where you're matched up against an unlike athlete, where the guy that's across from you is as big and as strong as you are, but he's exponentially more gifted as an athlete than you are. And you're expected to win 100 out of 100 matchups, 65 for 65. And if you give up one sack, you've had a horrible game, and that guy's going to the Pro Bowl. And, if a 6'3" point guard blows by an NBA 7-foot center, we don't go, man, that center sucks at defense. We got to get him off the court. No, you got a great matchup. We don't put heavyweights against welterweights in boxing, but that is the equivalent. Like you have got to be, and it's 5 guys that have to be tied together and have to be doing the same thing and having the same communication and knowing exactly what they're getting. And they are, from an athletic standpoint, I mean, offensive line, we are the worst athletes collectively on the football field without question. And so every step, every nuanced hand position, where you want to block guys, all that stuff has to be developed. It has to be worked on, and it can't be worked on in a walkthrough. It doesn't work that way. And so you see it, and you see diminishing skill set of that position, diminishing development of that position. And then you see the results of that, or quarterbacks are injured. You can't, all these things kind of pile on. And, I know we're the golden goose, and I know we're Teflon, and all those things, but eventually will it cost the NFL viewership? Right now, it doesn't look like it, but eventually we look at it like, wow, this is just a really bad product.
Hey, you made it all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Check us out every single day streaming live on Disney Plus and the ESPN app 12 to 3 Eastern.